Welcome to a very special journey created just for those who've crossed the threshold of 60. If you're listening to me today, you've probably spent decades working hard, raising a family, caring for others, and carrying big responsibilities. But now, this is your time. This is the moment to live fully, to rediscover joy, peace, and the freedom you deserve. And today, we're going to explore 11 things you should consider letting go of after 60. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because you've earned the right to a life that's more meaningful, lighter, and filled with happiness. Stay with me until the end, because the last one might just change how you see every new morning. Are you ready? Let's dive in. 1. Stop saving out of fear. Picture this. You've saved your whole life. You've put money into retirement funds, paid off debts, prepared for tough times. Save for a rainy day. Save just in case. These words have followed you for years. And you've done an incredible job. You've built a solid foundation. But what happens when the future you've been saving for is already here? When you have enough to live comfortably, but you're still afraid to spend a single dollar. I once met a man named John, 68 years old. He had over $2 million in his retirement account, a paid-off house, and no debts. But every time his wife Susan suggested a trip to Europe, a new RV, or even a fancy dinner out, he'd tense up. He'd say, "What if something happens? What if we need that money later?" I sat down with him and gently asked John, "What if you never use it? What if that rainy day doesn't come the way you expect? What legacy do you want to leave? A full bank account or memories with the people you love?" He went quiet. That question stayed with him. The truth is, saving is important. But at some point, you need to trust the life you've built. The money you've saved isn't just for emergencies. It's for living, for traveling, for giving meaningful gifts, for creating moments you and your family will cherish forever. Shift your mindset. Instead of asking, "What if I run out?" ask, "What's worth spending on today while I still can?" Your time is now, not someday, not later, but right now. Have you ever hesitated to spend because of fear? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear too. Stop spending on things that don't bring you joy. Now that you've given yourself permission to spend, let's make sure you're spending on the right things. Too often we buy things out of habit, guilt, or to please others. We buy clothes to fill closets, gifts out of obligation or gadgets, because they're on sale. But how often do you stop and ask, "Does this really make me happy?" I spoke with a woman named Mary, 72 years old. She told me she used to spend thousands of dollars a year on clothes. She never wore gifts. She felt pressured to give, and devices she bought because everyone had them. But when I asked about her most precious memory, she smiled. It was a $600 flight to surprise her sister for her birthday. She and her sister spent the whole weekend laughing, crying, and sharing old stories. That trip for her was worth more than every purchase she'd ever made. It wasn't about the money. It was about connection, about real joy. Joy doesn't always come with a big price tag. Sometimes it's a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, a walk in the park, or a handwritten letter to someone you love. Those simple things often bring the greatest happiness. So before you open your wallet, ask yourself, is this helping me live the life I want? Or is it just noise? Spend with your heart, and you'll find your life feels richer. What's something you've spent money on that brought you true joy? A trip, a gift, a special moment? Share it in the comments. I'm curious to know. 3. Stop trading time for money. For most of your life, you've been taught that time is for trading for money. You worked hard, put in long hours, sometimes doing jobs that weren't easy or fulfilling. You built a career, supported your family, and created a stable life. That was necessary. But now, at 60, things are different. Time is now your most precious currency. Ask yourself honestly, are you still working because you love it or because you're afraid to stop? Does your job bring you joy and purpose, or is it just draining you and keeping you busy? I knew a man named David, a high school teacher with over 30 years of experience. When he was 62, friends and family kept asking, "When are you retiring?" But his answer was simple when I stopped loving it. He kept teaching inspiring students until he was 67. Then one morning, he woke up and felt it. It was time. He retired with peace in his heart, no regrets. But I've also met others who cling to jobs they don't enjoy, simply because they don't know who they'd be without that role. They're afraid of losing their identity or feeling empty. Here's the truth. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn more time. Once today is gone, it's gone. No paycheck can buy back the moments you've missed. If your work still brings you joy, keep going. But if it's exhausting you, if it's holding you back from the life you want, maybe it's time to let go. Give your time to what truly matters, family hobbies, or just enjoying a quiet morning. What are you spending your time on? Does your work still bring you meaning? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. 4. Stop putting off experiences. Have you ever told yourself, "I'll take that trip someday," or "I'll learn to paint, dance, or try a new hobby"? When I have time, we all have dreams, experiences we want to have. But too often we put them off thinking there's plenty of time ahead. But here's a truth I want you to hold on to. Someday isn't a day on the calendar, and sometimes it never comes. Let me tell you about Bill and Linda, a couple in their mid-70s. They always dreamed of driving cross-country in a vintage Airstream trailer. They had the money, the time, but year after year they said, "Next summer, next year, when things settle down." Then one winter, Bill had a mild heart attack. Thankfully, it wasn't life-threatening, but it was a wake-up call. They realized they'd been waiting for a perfect moment, a moment that would never come. They'd been waiting for permission that no one was going to give them. So they packed up, hit the road, and 6 months later, they came back with beaming smiles. They told me it was the best decision we ever made. Not because every day was perfect, but because they lived their dream. They took action. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. Life is messy, unpredictable, and there's never a perfect time for anything. If you keep waiting for everything to align, you'll miss out on the experiences that truly matter. I've put things off too. I've said I'll do it later when the time's right, but I've learned the best time is now. There's no such thing as perfect, but you can start with small steps. Think about a dream you've been putting off. Maybe a trip, a hobby, or a conversation you've been meaning to have. What's one small step you can take today to get closer to it? Share it in the comments. I want to hear about your dreams and how you're starting. 5. Stop neglecting your health. Now let's talk about something incredibly important, your health. For most of your life, you may have put work, family, and responsibilities first. You chased deadlines, cared for others, and your health slipped to the bottom of the list. But after 60, I want you to remember this. Without your health, nothing else matters. It's not about how many years you have left. It's about how many healthy years you have left. Think about Michael, a 68-year-old man. He was always busy working nonstop and didn't pay attention to his health. He thought, "I'm fine, I've got time." But as he hit his 60s, he noticed he was more tired. His knees ached, his sleep was restless, his energy was low. Then one day, his doctor told him he had high blood pressure. It was a shock. Michael realized he couldn't ignore his body anymore. He started small walking 15 minutes a day, cutting back on fried foods, drinking more water. He even joined a yoga class for seniors. 3 months later, Michael felt reborn. He had more energy, his blood pressure was under control, and his mood was brighter. He told me, "I wish I'd started sooner." You don't need to run marathons or go on strict diets. Just start small, take a 10-minute walk, swap soda for water stretch in the morning. If you're up for it, try a fitness class for seniors. It's not just good for your body, it's a chance to make new friends and have fun. Your health is the vehicle that carries you through life. If you don't maintain it, it won't take you far. But the good news is, it's never too late to start. I've made small changes in my life too. I walk more, eat more vegetables, and I feel stronger and more vibrant. You don't have to be perfect. Just take that first step. What can you do for your health today? A light workout? A healthy meal? Or maybe booking that doctor's appointment? Share your tips or plans in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're taking care of yourself. 6. Stop worrying about what others think. Do you know what's wonderful about being over 60? You don't have to live by other people's expectations anymore. For most of your life, you've tried to please others. Be a good parent, a loyal employee, a dependable friend. You worried about how people saw you, afraid of being judged, afraid of doing something out of place. But now, it's time to live for you. Wear what makes you feel good. Do what makes you happy. Chase the passions you once thought were silly. At this age, you've earned the right to be your true self. I met Barbara, a 65-year-old woman. She always dreamed of taking a painting class, but she hesitated. She said, "I'm too old. People will think I'm foolish." I asked her, "So what if they do? Who are you living for? You or them?" Barbara decided to try. She signed up for the class, and it changed her life. Not because she became a famous artist, but because she found joy in creating. She felt free, confident, and stopped caring about others' opinions. I've been there too. I used to worry about how people saw me. I was afraid to wear bold clothes or do something different. But as I've gotten older, I realized other people's opinions don't define me. I started wearing what I love, traveling solo and speaking my mind. That freedom, it's incredible. Think about this. Is there something you want to do but are holding back because of what others might think? A hobby, a style, or a bold decision? What's one thing you can do today to live more authentically? Share it in the comments. I want to hear how you're embracing your true self. 7. Stop watching the doom and gloom. We live in a world flooded with information. Turn on the TV, scroll through social media, or tune into the radio. Bad news is everywhere. Accidents, conflicts, crises. It feels like it never stops. Staying informed is important. You should know what's happening in the world. But drowning in negative news can hurt your mind. It creates stress, anxiety, and steals the peace you deserve. After 60, your attention is gold. You get to choose where to place it. Let me tell you about Jerry, a 70-year-old woman. Jerry was a news junkie. Every night, she watched hours of evening news, soaking up every detail about the world. But she noticed it left her stressed, anxious, and feeling helpless. Her granddaughter said, "Why don't you take a break for a week?" Jerry decided to cut back on news. She read inspiring books, watched nature documentaries, and listened to podcasts about positive stories. Within days, she felt lighter, more hopeful, and more present in her life. I've been caught in the negative news cycle too. I'd watch TV and feel like the world was falling apart. It made me anxious and sleepless. But when I cut back and chose uplifting stories, podcasts, or books, my mind cleared. I felt peaceful, and I realized I can choose what I let into my mind. You don't have to disconnect completely. Stay informed, but set limits. Instead of 2 hours of news, try an hour reading a book, taking a walk, or chatting with a loved one. What could you replace an hour of news with today? A book, a movie, or a hobby? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're choosing peace over anxiety. 8. Stop ignoring your financial plan. Money can be a tough topic. After 60, many people fall into two extremes. They either avoid their finances completely or obsess over every number. Neither is healthy. Understanding your financial situation is crucial at this stage, but that doesn't mean you have to live in worry. You need a plan that gives you peace of mind so you can enjoy life without being haunted by money. Think about Diane, a 71-year-old woman. Diane was great with money when she was younger, but as she got older, she started avoiding it. She didn't want to look at her bank balance, didn't want to think about medical costs or retirement. She thought, if I don't look, it won't be a problem. But when her health began to decline, she realized ignoring it wasn't helping. It only made her more anxious. Finally, she met with a financial advisor. They created a simple plan. She knew how much she needed to live, how to handle unexpected costs, and how to keep her finances secure. After that meeting, Diane felt like a weight had lifted. She didn't have to worry every night. She could travel, buy gifts for her grandkids, and enjoy life with confidence. I know the stress of thinking about money. I've had moments of worry, wondering if I'd saved enough or if my money would last. But when I sat down, checked my accounts, and made a plan, I felt freer. A clear plan isn't a burden. It's the key to living comfortably. You don't need to be a financial expert. Just check your accounts, talk to an advisor, or make a basic budget. If you haven't looked at your finances lately, today's a great day to begin. Have you ever made a financial plan that gave you peace of mind, or are you avoiding it for some reason? Share one small step you'll take in the comments. Let's move forward together. 9. Stop holding on to grudges. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself after 60 is to let go of grudges. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It's heavy, it tires you out, and it steals your joy. Maybe someone hurt you years ago. Maybe a relationship ended badly, and you've held on to that bitterness. But I want to remind you, forgiveness isn't a gift you give to others. It's a gift you give yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or saying what happened was okay. It means choosing freedom over pain, peace over anger. Let me tell you about Lily, a 78-year-old woman. Lily had been angry with her sister for over 40 years over a fight from their youth. They were once close, but after their falling out, they stopped speaking. That resentment affected Lily's whole life. She became withdrawn, smiled less. One day, her daughter said, "Mom, why don't you try talking to Aunt Jane?" Lily hesitated, but she wrote a handwritten letter. She poured out her feelings, her pain, and her desire to heal. To her surprise, her sister responded with an apology and a wish to reconnect. That letter brought Lily a peace she hadn't felt in decades. I've held grudges too. I used to think forgiving was weak, like letting the other person win. But I learned I was the one hurting the most. When I let go, I felt lighter, like I'd dropped a heavy load. Forgiveness gave me the freedom to live again. Think about your life. Is there someone you're holding anger toward, or even yourself for something in the past? Forgiveness might be a letter, a phone call, or just a quiet moment where you decide to let go. Are you ready to try? Share your story in the comments. How has forgiveness changed your life? Or if you're thinking about it, where will you start? I can't wait to hear your journey. 10. Stop comparing your aging to others. As we age, it's easy to compare ourselves to others. You see a friend your age full of energy or someone younger with smooth skin, and you think, why don't I look like that? Am I falling behind? But here's something I want you to hold on to. Everyone's aging journey is unique. Your aging is shaped by your experiences, choices, and genetics. Comparing yourself isn't just unfair to you, it steals your joy. Let me introduce you to Helen, a 68-year-old woman. Helen used to spend a lot of time looking at her friends and feeling like she was aging too fast. They seemed more active, more youthful, and she felt insecure. But one day, she paused to reflect. She thought about her life raising her kids, caring for her parents, traveling the world, and giving back to her community. She realized her body with its wrinkles and gray hair had carried her through a rich life. Those marks of time weren't decline. They were proof of a life well lived. When she stopped comparing, she started loving herself more. She felt confident, proud, and happy with who she was. I've compared myself to others too. I'd see people with more energy or youth and feel like I wasn't enough. But I've learned that aging is a privilege. Every wrinkle, every gray hair is a story of the days I've lived, loved, and learned. I'm proud of my journey, and I want you to be proud of yours. Pause for a moment. Are you comparing your aging to someone else? What's one thing about your journey you're proud of? Maybe it's your resilience, your memories, or a lesson you've learned. Share it in the comments. Let's celebrate the beauty of aging together. 11. Stop living like you have forever. This is a big one, and I want you to listen closely. Life is finite. We all know this deep down, but we often live like we've forgotten. We say, I'll call that friend tomorrow, I'll take that trip next year, or I'll start that project when I'm ready. But tomorrow isn't promised. And if you wait too long, you might miss out on what truly matters. Let me share the story of Peter and Marie, a couple in their 70s. They always dreamed of traveling to Europe. They even had a map on their wall, marked with cities they wanted to visit: Paris, Rome, Athens. But year after year, they put it off. When we have more time, they said. Then one day, Marie fell seriously ill. She passed away before they ever took the trip. Peter was devastated. He regretted waiting so long, but he decided regret wouldn't define the rest of his life. At 81, he traveled to Europe alone. It wasn't the same as with Marie, but he found meaning in it. He said, I did this for me and for her. Peter's story reminds me that time doesn't wait. I've put things off too. I've thought I've got plenty of time. But losing loved ones has shown me every day is a gift. I don't want to live with regrets. Ask yourself, if you knew this was your last year, what would you do differently? Who would you call? What would you say? What would you start? And what's stopping you right now? Today, take one small step. Call that person. Book that ticket. Write down your dream. Share it in the comments. What's one thing you'll do to live fully today? I'm here to cheer you on. We've been on quite a journey together, and I hope you're feeling inspired, empowered, and ready for a new chapter. Let's recap what we've learned. 1. Stop saving out of fear. Spend on joy and memories. 2. Stop spending on things that don't bring happiness. Choose what truly matters. 3. Stop trading time for money. Give your time to meaning. 4. Stop putting off experiences. Take action today. 5. Stop neglecting your health. Care for your body to live long and well. 6. Stop worrying about what others think. Live authentically. 7. Stop watching the doom and gloom. Choose peace and positivity. 8. Stop ignoring your finances. Plan for peace of mind. 9. Stop holding on to grudges. Forgive to set yourself free. 10. Stop comparing your aging. Love your unique journey. 11. Stop living like you have forever. Live fully every day. Letting go isn't giving up. It's clearing the path for more joy, peace, and a life that's truly yours. After 60, you're not slowing down. You're shining brighter than ever. This is your time to live again, to love more, and to embrace what matters most. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're ready to let go of today? Fear A. Habit, a dream you've delayed. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll read everyone, and I can't wait to hear what's inspiring you. If this video touched your heart, if it reminded you of your value, your wisdom, and your possibilities, please share it with someone you care about. A friend, a family member, or someone who needs this message too. Together, we can inspire each other to live better, happier lives. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. I'll keep sharing tips, stories, and inspiration to help you live your best life after 60. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, your heart, and your trust. And remember, it's never too late to live a life full of meaning, happiness, and love. I'll see you in the next video. Live fully today.